removes all your cognitive toxins, purifies your system.
We'll try the machine, but I'd like you to try something. Try swallowing the giant ball of snot that's dangling around in the back of your throat. It's disgusting. Nobody wants to hear that. That's what you do. Man, did you hear me bite that guy's head off? Jeez, I really need to chill.
Rick, is this thing supposed to be making this?
Morty! It removed our toxins. We're the toxins. Are you listening, you stupid little garbage person? We're what got removed! Hey man, listen, those comments I made about your throat,
It's all good.
it's nice of you to let me off the hook. It's still unacceptable behavior, and I do regret it.
I love drums. I never took drum lessons. Why? Limitations. We are addicted to our own limitations. How amazing is that? You have to do this detox thing I did. It's at an alien spa. You go through it. Whoosh! Lasers. Boing, boing, boing. Wheel, wheel. Sucks everything out. Everything that was holding me back. Everything bad. I mean, it just... right?
How nice would it be to have a detoxifier, to have a machine that could instantly relieve us of our negative feelings, thoughts, and emotions, right? To, find ourselves instantly unrestrained, unbound, and unhindered by prior baggage, by our former inner narratives and monologues, to find ourselves really unrestricted and unlimited in pursuing what we want in this world, whether it be a person or just a better self. It would be really nice, but unfortunately we don't have a Rick Sanchez in this timeline, so we're limited to current human technology and current understanding of our minds and ourselves. I think it's really interesting when you see Morty suddenly unlimited and unrestrained and unbound by his former inner monologue and inner narrative, and he's able to go pursue, Jessica. He's able to pursue anyone and do anything. He's confident. He's not worried or concerned by, prior mistakes, past mistakes, or past fuck-ups, or whatever you want to call it, or stories he's told about himself that he's not smart enough, he's not cool enough, he's not good enough. He's dropped all of that, and I think that's what we probably should be trying to do in this world. Most people, as they gain wisdom, as they gain really age and perspective, come to find that they were the thing holding themselves back most of all. There was no real practical worldly concern or obstacle standing in their way from whatever they really wanted, right? If we can see ourselves clearly, if we can get rid of the stories that we're telling ourselves of why not to do this and why we shouldn't do that and why it wouldn't work, as long as it's not a rational and logical reason, to a rational and logical concern, then we can do most anything that we're capable of doing. Now, I won't say that we can do anything because we can't. We're individuals and we have unique gifts and limitations, right? But if we remove the stories and the BS that we tell ourselves, then we can do anything that we can do. I think it's really interesting that you see people that gain enough wisdom and they gain enough perspective on themselves, they see that all along they were the thing standing in the way. And unfortunately, that is the saddest thing in life. To me, one of the most sad things in life anyway, because most of the times we believe that it's something in the world, a lack of money, a lack of time, a lack of assistance and help, or, whatever resources, right? Physical resources. But it's often the case, oftentimes not the case. Oftentimes we are not restricted or limited by anything other than our internal view of ourselves, of our internal view of this world and what we believe we can do. We are a risk-averse species, and it makes sense why we don't go headlong and head first toward every opportunity and every desire and every wish, but that can run amok. We can't have a inner story run amok and build and build and build until we are paralyzed in a reality that is non-existent outside of our head. We are paralyzed by things that just aren't true practically and physically. They're stories we told ourselves. This won't work. This can't work. I can't do that. I could have done that if I'd done this, or X, Y, and Z. It's really limitless in what we can do to hinder ourselves. Unfortunately, we don't have a machine that can strip all of that away, but we do have techniques in this world. We do have techniques in this world and practices and approaches and philosophies that can help us find some freedom, some perspective, and some, reprieve from the constant and incessant storytelling that we do internally that keeps us from being whatever the hell it is that we want, or getting whatever the hell it is that we want in this world, right? Now, one of the best ways or best things you can do to gain perspective without entering a detoxifier, right? Because it doesn't exist, number one, or, spending 2-3 decades learning hard and tough lessons until you're old and you're tired and you look back and you say, oh, it was me all along. One of the best ways to avoid that is to meditate. And I know meditation has gained popularity and it's gained a lot of a lot of notoriety in media, and it's become commonplace. It's a word that everybody's familiar with. People in the hood know how to meditate. People, in Beverly Hills and, the bayou and the swamps of Florida, everybody around, the Midwest, people in the Midwest meditate. Everybody has heard of this, everybody knows how to do it, or at least is familiar with the concept. But I think with that, a lot of, just like with anything, a lot of nonsense has come along with it. People will, sometimes tell you that you should meditate simply because it'll make you more productive or what have you, or you should meditate if you're spiritual. I mean, there's something to be said for both of those, but I think that the first and foremost, the best reason and the best thing to do with meditation initially is to gain some perspective on yourself, to quiet the mind for a period of time so that you can see yourself clearly with some objectivity, and just stop the narrative for a period. Because if that thing runs, it will roll. It's like a snowball. If you don't quiet the mind, at least occasionally, it just builds and builds and builds until this story in your head is so large and so powerful that you can't do anything with it. You can't move. You're paralyzed, literally. It's a snowball rolling, and it'll crush you. So meditation, in my personal opinion, is just a way to get a break, a reprieve, initially. There's more to it than that, clearly, and I'll get to that in later videos. But I think meditation should be used initially just to gain some peace, some I guess just a pause from the constant thinking and storytelling we do. It won't manifest change, drastic and dramatic change overnight, although a lot of early stage and beginning meditators believe that they have changed and transformed, because going from an incessant thinking state to an occasionally incessant thinking state is a drastic switch in your view of reality and your view of self. But that is just the beginning. It's just the tip of the iceberg. If we can see it for what it is, just a practical application of a technique long used, widely adopted, and often misquoted and misrepresented, if we can see it as something that can just to be used to help us and to apply it like that initially, then I think there's a lot of benefit in there. It can work like a detoxifier. Meditation can work like a detoxifier if used appropriately and effectively and frequently enough, right? And sincerely enough. A lot of people may meditate for X, Y, and Z reasons, but I think one of the best reasons is to start off is for a selfish reason, right? Not because you're trying to be some peaceful angel in this world, or you're trying to realize some spiritual goal. I think it should just be literally because you want to stop hurting yourself. You want to stop limiting yourself and being the thing standing in your own way. Now, because I preach this whole applied philosophy thing, I don't believe that something's worth our time if it's not useful in improving our lives, our experience of this existence, right? Or in improving our world in some way, or helping us do something that is meaningful or useful to us or important to us, right? It's not important. But meditation is not one of these things. It's not one of these trends or fads, despite how it's gained, increasing notoriety and awareness and popularity. Many people have probably come to dismiss it because they've adopted it for one or more reasons. They wanted to be more productive. They wanted to manage their time more efficiently. Not what it's for. 100% it's not for that. It is so much more powerful and so much more useful than many people understand. So 30 years of meditation now, right? I'm going to share with you on the next video, one of these videos this week, how I meditate, how I learned to meditate, in the 80s, 30 years ago, sometime this year. And it's something that I call the focus method. Is a unique brand of meditation. Some people may even argue that it may not even technically be meditation. It may be some other technique, but nevertheless, it has resulted in a transformation of mind, a transformation of experience and perspective, and it's yielded tangible benefits. It's yielded benefits for me in my life that I can't even fully encapsulate on video at this point. It would probably take the course of this YouTube channel for me to explain exactly what I've gained from just meditating, what it's done for me and given me. So thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, especially if you want to see the next video on the focus method of meditation, my technique, and you have a great day. Bye.